Welcome back, Nick Lenz. Comic Corner Classics as known classic. This is episode number 1146 in Doubleshot number 1040. One DC trade and one Marvel trade. Yep. First up is the finale for this series, Doomsday Clock, Book Part 2, collecting issues 7 through 12. Yes, I finally finished this series. I read the series already, basically digitally. This is basically reading the book, like basically in the physical graphic novel. Simply put, these following things happen in here. We have pretty much Dr. Manhattan going through kind of the history of Superman at his various points in time. When he debuted in 1938 at the start of the Golden Age, 1956, the Silver Age, 1986, the post-crisis, and New 52, which that was interesting. I'm sure anybody who's a fan of the post-crisis Superman would have loved that little bit. And in the case of Saturn Girl, she has a good amount of time in this book, and also it's revealed that Adrian Vought, aka Osmodeus, who had claimed at the start of the series that he's got cancer, Dr. Manhattan revealed that, yeah, he actually lied about that. He does not have cancer. He's perfectly fine. Yep. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, there's a whole thing with Firestorm in here. Oh, good gosh, yes. Yep, and also Black Adam plays a role in this story, where he apparently, in his country, he's housing a bunch of villains. Because he's the ruler of the country. Yep. Superman at one point during the course of these issues does visit the country, and then he gets knocked out for a few issues. The heroes pretty much decide, all of them decide to go front Dr. Manhattan himself. Now this I thought was really strange, because a lot of these characters are pretty much wearing, some of them wearing like pre-Flashpoint costumes. I thought this was weird. Yes. Like, I question like, why the heck. Also, I love this little thing that Jeff Johns did, where he referenced when Superboy joined Justice League, not Justice League, the Legion of Superheroes. Yeah, from an issue of Superboy back in the 80s. Not 80s, the 50s. Absolute great thing for him to do. Yeah, some of these characters are in the free Flashpoint costumes, but not all of them are. Let's see if I can show the actual page here of them when they all go flying to Jupiter. Yeah, and they have pretty much all the Green Lanterns here, except Simon Boz. Yeah. Okay, so they go on the ships. On one ship, we have Big Barda, Mr. Miracle, Hawk Girl, the Atom, Hawkman. On another ship, we have Hal Jordan. Looks like Starfire with a close-up of her chest. Donna Troy in her Wonder Girl, in her second Wonder Girl costume. No idea why she's wearing this. Despite the fact when she was appearing in Titans this point, she was wearing completely different attire. Cyborg, Jessica Cruz, looks like Green Arrow slot. I think that's Guy Gardner on the bench. John Stewart. Ship number 3 has Aquaman, Mira, Firehawk, Martian Manhunter, Green Arrow, Black Canary, and the Flash. Yeah. Now you're probably noticing some of them basically in their pre-Flashpoint attires. I would say Mr. Miracle and Big Barda. Heck, even Donna Troy. I'm not really sure of why that Gary Frank decided to put her in that outfit. It's quite strange. On the next ship, ship number 4, we have Steel. We have 2 members of the Metal Men. We have, I think it's supposed to be Mercury, Platinum. I don't remember who the strong guy is. I think it might be Sorrow. And Supergirl. Ship number 3 looks like it is, well, some of the cosmic characters. It looks like it's Deadman, Swamp Thing, Zatanna, John Constantine. On another ship, we have the Doom Patrol. The Grant Morrison lineup. Yeah, well, mostly it's mixed Grant Morrison's lineup. And, of course, some of the other ones. You have Elastigirl. We have Negative Man, Robot Man, Niles Cordair, a.k.a. the Chief, and Flex Metallo. On another ship, we have Batgirl in not the correct costume she was wearing at this point. Yeah, I'm not really sure why in the world they had that outfit. Nightwing, another character who's not in the correct costume. We all see in the background looks like Black Lightning, Metamorpho. I think that's Red Hood, Katana, Batwoman. Let's see. We have Stargirl, the Shazam family. I think that's Alpha Centaurian. And another ship we have, the Charlton Heroes. All four of these characters were created by the late Steve Ditko. And let me show you off them. Yes. Here is that one ship that has like some of the more powerful heroes. The magical heroes. I'm not sure who the ones they're showing the backs of. It could be Black Canary. I'm not really sure who these two could be. And I can tell by looking at, yeah, this is basically the Grant Morrison lineup. It's interesting you'd see the Doom Patrol in a regular DC Universe book, despite the fact they were also appearing in the Young Animal imprint. Yeah, here at the bottom is the Charlton Heroes. We have The Question, and that is clearly Vic Sage. Nightshade, a character who's not been seen post-Flashpoint. Yeah, this is her first post-Flashpoint appearance because I can't think of a comic she's actually physically appeared in. Captain Atom, also another character in his pre-Flashpoint look, along with the Ted Kord Blue Beetle, who is back in his costume. Despite the fact, prior to this, he had basically retired to be a superhero and handed off to Jaime Reyes. Yeah. And look here at the top. We have Batgirl in the Gail Simone outfit. Yes, no idea why that Gary Fink put in this costume. Here's Stargirl, the Shazam family, and Alpha Centaurian. Alpha Centaurian, a very somewhat obscure character. I believe is a creation of Jack the King Kirby. Yeah. It's interesting that all these ships basically are here just to go to Mars to confront Dr. Manhattan. At the Hall of Justice, we have Superman with his wife, with his beautiful wife Lois. Their son John is nowhere to be seen. And we have at the Wayne Manor, we have Batman recovering with Alfred. This is before what happened with him in the City of Bane storyline, which I don't know what. Now there's been disagreement of what happened with him in the storyline. Now I'm not going to spoil what it is because I haven't reviewed it yet. But I'll review it sometime later when I get a chance to get hands on the trade. Yeah. But the one thing that I don't like about this, okay, you show off all the human Green Lanterns. Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, John Stewart. Show off these three guys. No Kyle Rayner and clearly no Simon Boz. Now I'm thinking, wait, Jeff Johns, you clearly created Simon Boz and yet you don't feature him? You feature Jessica Cruz, who was definitely a character you did create. And, yeah. This all in all, now the series does end with the comedian. Yes, the comedian. Yeah, it was explained that Dr. Manhattan brought him back from basically preventing his own death. De-aged a bit, though he did at the end of the series, put him back the way he was at the start of the critically Watchmen, where he did die, got killed by Ozymandias. Saturn Girl at one point basically was traveling with Johnny Thunder, then was put in an insane asylum. And then they got freed, and oh yeah, and Dr. Manhattan thinks though that Superman forgot about her. But Superman does remember her. Oh, hi Saturn Girl. Yep. And I love the fact that pretty much with this limited series, that it seems as though that Superman's time with lead superheroes has been somewhat restored. Yes. This all in all was a great series to read, and look enough, I have both trades. Yep, here's Volume 1. This one right here is Volume 1. Here's Volume 2. Final thoughts on this series. This overall was a really good series to read, and I do recommend if people are fans of Watchmen, you might thoroughly enjoy this. This was so exciting to read. All 12 issues of this. Great series. I give basically Volume 2 a 10 out of 10. An excellent book to read. And such a really good story by Jeff Johns. Yeah. The only thing kind of bad about this was the fact the series suffered through delays, which can probably attribute to the fact that Jeff Johns is a busy guy. And here's the thing. Despite the fact he was working on this, he had also decided to start a brand new ongoing series. Shazam! Yep, he decided to start up that series. Now, I would say of all the characters appearing here, a lot of them have been pretty much appearing prior to this, with the exception of Nightshade. Yes, Nightshade, her last appearance was, I believe, in the pages of Suicide Squad during that mini-series Trial by Fire, which is considered to be the third volume of the series. That was the last time I could think of. She was, actually, no, was not. That was not the last time she was seen. She was it was Shadow Pact. Yes, that was the last book she was featured in. That was, of course, pre-Flashpoint. Yeah, but since Flashpoint happened, I don't think that Nightshade has shown up. But yeah, oh yeah, and the whole thing this event teased was seeing Superman versus Dr. Manhattan. Never happened. Yeah, the whole thing that pretty much was teased when this thing first started never actually happened. Dr. Manhattan and Superman never fought, which I thought was quite strange. Though Dr. Manhattan did fighting a lot of the superheroes, though I thought it was kind of weird though that they brought back the Doom Patrol. Now I get why Jeff Johns brought back Doom Patrol. He technically did write one of their appearances in the past 10 years. Yeah. Oh, my devil. Yeah. He brought him back purely based on the fact that he had previously written them in the pages of his run for Justice League. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Though at the time, now I think that I don't know if this version of Doom Patrol is basically the one that he did, or basically this is pre-Flashpoint Doom Patrol they kind of basically brought in. I have heard that basically this series has been deemed like taking place in alternate universe, thanks to what happened in Justice League 39, which I will be hoping getting that the trade that collects that really soon. But this series did have an impact on the DC universe. How? Return of the JSA, the return of Legion of Superheroes. And Jeff Johns, Gary Frank did a great job with this book. Now, this is one of the 3 books I could think of they worked on together. They worked on Justice League, they did Batman Earth 1, Volume 1 and 2, and this book. I can't think of any other book they've done together. Now, there's no denying, Gary Frank is a great artist. And it's great, though, that Jeff Johns basically brought back the JSA with this book. And great as though they actually did it. Alright, moving on to Marvel Comic, the start of a brand new run. This is New Mutants by Jonathan Hickman, Volume 1. Of course, it's written by Jonathan Hickman and artwork by Rod Reis. This book collects issues of New Mutants, Volume 4, issues 1, 2, 5, and 7. Yeah, for some reason, it's one of those books basically where there's like 2 different teams in the book, and there's a lot back and forth. Though, here's the interesting thing. Now, this is part of the Dawn of X initiative. And this is also something that apparently that Hickman kind of borrowed this idea from Scott Snyder. Have another writer basically take over him for an issue or 2 while basically he's doing the main book. Yeah, that's the simple gist of it. Now, this New Mutants lineup is basically kind of different than the other ones. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Pretty much you have the classic mutants and it's just Sunspot, Wolfbane, Mirage, Karma, and Magic with Chamber of Generation X. Yep, brought him in. And new character, Mordo. Interesting. And the mission, go to space to bring Cannonball home. He doesn't want to come home. I'm so happy Hickman kept the fact that he is married and he's a parent. I'm so happy. When I read this again, I was so happy to see that because I think that keeping him as a parent is a brilliant idea. Even Hickman probably disagrees with the whole idea that superheroes can't be happy and they can't have kids. I'm sure he heavily disagrees with that. And that's probably the reason why he kept this in. Oh yeah, and also, he's the one who created this relationship in the first place between Cannonball and Izzy, aka Smasher. Which, kudos for him keeping that. Yeah, he started this in his Avengers run. And he continues to here. Great. Also, we have Cannonball in his Avengers attire. Yeah, when Cannonball first shows up in here, and I was so happy that they actually kept him in this attire, even though that a lot of people, like, in book, people were not really big fans of this costume. Yeah, here he is. Here is Cannonball in the outfit he wore when Hickman was writing Avengers. Yep. Yeah. And Also, now the way the humans got to Shi'ar space is they hitch a ride with the Starjammers. Yes, the Starjammers. Because why not? And it's interesting, though, that Jonathan Hickman basically had the mutants go to space, which was something he did with Avengers, which I've heard from one particular group of people, that was one thing that turned him off from his run for Avengers. Me, I loved it. I love Hickman's run for Avengers. I thought it was really good. And they discover a plot in here. Now, I should point out, though, the plot basically discover is that somebody's trying to kill the regent, the new heir to the throne. Apparently, Hickman kind of retconned a couple things in here, which I thought this was kind of dumb. The fact that Gladiator does have a child, he did appear in X-Men comics, Jason Aaron created the character, and he's completely disappeared. No idea what happened to him. That was not the only thing he had disappear. Apparently, Hickman forgot the fact that last time that he brings in Deathbird. Yes, Deathbird. This is the first time she's been seen since before Secret Wars. The last time she was seen was back in, I believe it was in the last arc they did for the series X-Men Volume 4. That was the last time she was officially seen. And she's no longer pregnant. Nope, no longer pregnant. What happened to the child? No idea. Also, apparently this child who's here, who they claim is Deathbird's niece, this woman is a spitting image of Leandra. It's possible this is Leandra's daughter, but they've never specified it at all because they don't really say much about her at all. And there was a plan to kill her with the Shi'ar Death Commandos. Oh yes, these guys. Last time these guys showed up was back in The Rise and Fall of Shi'ar Empire by Ed Brubaker. Yeah, that's interesting. So they bring back Deathbird in here. They bring back the Death Commandos. That's interesting. Despite the fact the first thing these guys were seen, what did these guys do? They murdered the Jean Grey's family. Yep, that's what they did. They murdered her whole family. Why? So they wouldn't become potential hosts for the Phoenix Force. That was the whole reason for it. And of course, well, when Adrian found out who was the person who ordered that particular attack, she proceeded to beat the living crap out of him. Yeah. But they do, in fact, prevent the assassination, though the thing is, apparently Sunspot has developed an attraction to Deathbird. I get the fact she's hot, but wow. This is like the third person she's been with. This is possibly like the third boyfriend she's had. Because first it was Bishop back in the 90s. And then in 2000s it was Vulcan. Which apparently Hickman's forgotten the fact that Vulcan and Deathbird were a couple. But now since Vulcan's back, there's no mention of it at all. Also, Vulcan's a lot thinner than what last was. And of course, no mention of a child she had with him. Yeah, I know what happened to that particular child. It's never actually explained. Of course, Spear is broken, but it's kind of implied that Sunspot started a relationship with her and bought the building that Cannonball and Izzy are living in. Even though that the mutants went back to Earth, Sunspot decided to stay because he wanted to be with Deathbird. But this was an overall fun storyline to read. It's interesting though, Hickman did this where he took a break for an issue or two and handed off to Ed Bronson. Yep, that'll probably be a trade I'll probably review in the future. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. And this book is surprisingly really cheap when I got it. It was like $15.99. I was like, really? Yeah, this I can understand for this book. Unlike Incredible Hulk, I don't understand why that was so cheap. This I get because mutants are not that big. And I get also the reason why they brought the book back. The reason? The movie. The movie that's been heavily delayed for the past 4 years for like no reason at all, okay? So yeah, that's it for this particular review. My next views will be reviews of One Piece, newest episode of the series, Barto, and probably another One Piece review. Okay, see you next video. Bye.